Okay, good evening, everyone. This is Sachin here from Angel Wing LLC. We are continuing our weekly personal transformation program presentations as well as workshops and then subsequent discussion dialogue afterwards. We are starting week number 7 today. So it's good to see all of you. Thank you all for joining very well here, very nicely. Please note that there is a disclaimer statement that is available for you to read. If you have any questions about that, please do let me know about it. And we are ready to begin with our grounding meditation exercise. So you can just follow along as people are logging in. You may hear the mute, and please stay muted. If you need to say anything, you may unmute at your discretion. Okay, so here we go. Okay, welcome back, everyone. We are going to do just a quick concept review. The central concept has been broken down into 7 parts. And just to remember what they are, so these parts are that the human mind is very intricate and has very lot of complexity. Then the mind requires a lot of energy to function. It's just a quick review. Personal conflicts, interpersonal conflicts, external, can drain energy. Steps can be taken to reduce energy dissipation. So we have discussed this before in previous weeks. And we are on point number 5 again this week about revitalized energy. So what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to open workbook number 1, please, and put today's date on there. And I'd like you to write this question on top. What is revitalized personal energy? We talked about this last time also, and we're going further into it in another angle today. So please write that down in workbook number 1. And please put today's date. Okay, so what I'd like you to do after you write that question down, what is revitalized personal energy? It's a very powerful question. Whose energy are we talking about? Our own. We have a lot of different types of energies flowing. We want to revitalize it. So what is revitalization? I'm going to talk about this for 2 minutes here, then there's some points to write down, then we'll go from there. So revitalized personal energy refers to the process of experience of regaining or boosting one's physical, emotional, and mental energy levels after a period of depletion and fatigue. I hope that's clear. We always use energy, but there's a period where we feel tired, the energy is depleted, and we need to regain it, to boost it up again. Right? Now, this concept is important in many aspects of life, including work, personal development, relationships, and health. Revitalization can stem from many different sources and activities, and it varies. Its practices vary. It practices vary depending on individual needs, preferences, and lifestyles. So there's several ways of going about this. Several methods of revitalizing is what we're going to be looking at now. Physical health, there's 3 points. So write this down, please. Write down physical health revitalization. So write those 3 words down. I didn't put the word revitalizer, but write that down, please. Physical health revitalization. There's 3 points. Rest and sleep. Make that into a bullet point. Next bullet point is nutrition. Third bullet point is exercise. This is something which we already know. But our program is about application. It is not just concepts, right? So rest and sleep, adequate sleep is fundamental for the body to repair and rejuvenate itself. The right amount of sleep, the right type of nutrition, eating a balanced and healthy diet provides necessary nutrients for energy. Obviously, everybody knows this, right? But are we doing this? This is the question. Knowing, it's a transition from knowing to doing. Third point is exercise. Regular physical activity boosts energy levels, improving mood and enhances overall health. We know this. I know it, you know it, kids know it, teenagers know it, old elderly know it, everybody knows it. So what I'd like you to do, and now put down the word homework and just put a colon there, is to apply this. I will apply these 3. Right amount of rest and sleep, right amount of nutrition, right amount of exercise. This goes into those dimensions, those physical health dimension. and some others also, right? It's application. Keep it really simple. As a homework, you'll refer back to this again. Application. That's the homework. 3 points. What is the right nutrition for me? If I'm not sure, we have some general guidelines. I'm sure you might be knowing it already, but maybe not applying it. And then see where that health and fitness number is. You can check the 12 dimensions that way. But the point here is to apply this, right? So we want to understand it here in our workshop and then to apply it throughout the week. Rest and sleep, nutrition, and exercise. Very simple, but application, day to day, day to day, day to day. Do not fall back on any of them, right? What is the right amount of exercise? Now, what you may want to do is in workbook 1, write down some points, how to apply this for yourself, because it's different for each person. People wake up at different times, their nutrition is different, their diets are different, amount of exercise and all that is also it varies a lot. So to transform, to create the balanced state, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, until next week, we are going to apply this, including me. These 3 points. All right. Very good. I hope this is very clear. You don't need to write the actual definition down. You can later on. The slides will be available for you. Okay. Now the next section heading, mental and emotional well-being. What is that? That is also part of revitalization. 3 points here. Stress management. Write these 3 points down. Hobbies and interests, social connections. Write those down, please. First of all, we don't want stress, but if we have stress, we need to manage it. Very simple. Nobody wants stress, but stress is there in life, no doubt. If it comes about, there are techniques, meditation techniques, yoga techniques, mindfulness techniques, breathing techniques. Lots of techniques are there. You might be knowing some of them already. If you need more assistance with that, contact me. I'll guide you through the process. Don't hesitate to contact me. I would love to talk to you one-on-one. No problem at all with any of this stuff. So write those 3 down. Stress management. So mental and emotional well-being, make that a header. You can write it the way you want. You can even make a diagram if you want. You can do it the way you want. It's perfectly okay. It's about you. It's not about anybody else. As you're writing this down, and I'm talking about also, I have to keep attention on me. You have to keep attention on you. Remember that always, please. Okay, hobbies and interests. Right, so engaging in enjoyable activities can replenish mental energy and enhance creativity. So what are some of our hobbies, some of our interests that can replenish energy? Sometimes we do quote hobbies that don't replenish energy. We need to be aware of that. For example, I'll give you an example. Some people have these games, card games that they play once a week or twice a week, but they've lost money, they've won money. Is that replenishing energy or not? That's just an example to think about that. One has to know, where is energy actually being replenished? Is there enhancing creativity, or am I getting stuck into a damaging pattern? So be careful with hobbies and interests. What are they actually that are useful for us? That's the second point. Social connections. Spending time with family and friends, supportive communities can provide emotional upliftment and good quality energy activation, right? So this is how we enhance mental well-being. Again, this week, so to do this, apply these 3. Just say, I will apply these techniques this week. You can write something like that down. Application, just write the word application in bold. Apply this. Stress management, interests and hobbies, social connections. As I suggested before, use a Google Calendar, use a calendar to write things down, schedule things out pretty well so that things are moving and flowing throughout the days the way they ought to be flowing and moving. Right? So these are the 3 points here for mental and emotional well-being. We're going through these for what purpose? For revitalized personal energy. That's the overall heading. Underneath that, you've got physical health. Underneath that, we have mental and emotional well-being. And we have the spiritual or personal fulfillment dimension also. There's 3 points there. So you can put spiritual / personal fulfillment. Write that down, please. Take your time. And if I'm going too fast, please do stop me and I'll slow down for you. Perfectly okay. So there's 3 points here. What goals are there? Are there meaningful goals? Meaningful goals, put a question mark. Are there meaningful goals? What goals do I have in my mind? Having a sense of purpose or working towards meaningful goals, what does that do? It provides motivation and a sense of good quality energy. Okay, so that's one thing. Second point about personal fulfillment or even spiritual fulfillment is spending time in nature and outdoors. Spending time spent in nature, natural surroundings can rejuvenate mind and body. Going for walks, going to the park, taking some small walks, even if it's cold outside, taking some small walks outside and coming back, it's rejuvenating. The second point, so nature and outdoors and spiritual practice. Please write these 3 down and then just put application, the word application to apply. What kind of spiritual practice is up to you? Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's a religious practice, something else, whatever. It can be a source of guidance and comfort. This is all how we enhance the 12 dimensions. Right? So as you're writing these down, it's application. So you can think about this, how to apply this throughout the days until next week. It's very, very straightforward and easy to understand. And this is what rejuvenates energy by doing these things, actually. Doing them consciously, doing them deliberately. All right, very good. If you need me to slow down, please do let me know. Please don't write everything that's on these screens. Just write some bullet points as reminders. You can go back to the slides and then it's all application. It's not even number of notes you've taken. Notes are good. The recordings are being made, so that's also available for you. Okay. Work-life balance and continuous learning. Professional life, next part, for revitalizing energy. So if you are retired, there's still work to be done, maybe in the house or in some other way. There's still activity being done. So you have to figure out what that is for you. But those people who are working in different places, there is a balance between work and life. Right? So work-life balance, maintaining a balance between work demands personal life. Maintaining a balance between work demands personal life. I'm not saying that right. But maintaining a balance between work demands and personal life is crucial for preventing burnout. There's work demands and there's personal life. 2 things are there. So we don't want to burn out. We want to revitalize. So work-life balance, where is it? Just ask yourself, where is that? What do I need to do with that? Where is my balance point? Right? And then also to grow in professional life is learning, continuous learning. Always be in a state of learning. Don't get stagnated. Right? So acquiring new skills or knowledge can be invigorating and can boost confidence and energy levels. So again, this is to each his own, how this is applied. Okay, this is professional life. Very straightforward. If somebody is getting burned out, if you're feeling overworked, rebalance. If you need help with that, contact me. I'll guide you through it. Very, very crucial to not burn out. And also sometimes not enough energy or time is being spent in work. That's also problematic potentially. And then there's people who are stagnated in work. They said, what am I to learn now? Well, maybe the job doesn't require you to learn something now, but there might be some new dimensions, new ways of progressing. That is continuous learning. That's professional life. All right, now, we're going to go through this a little bit here. Just follow me along here. Don't write anything yet. Revitalizing personal energy is not a one-time task, but a continuous process of self-care and balance. It often requires making intentional choices about how to spend time and energy, prioritizing activities that replenish rather than deplete one's resources. This is a nutshell of what we're trying to do. Let's be sure we understand this and can eventually internalize. Is there energy? Yes. Is it personal? Yes. Of course it's personal. And it can be revitalized, but it's a continuous process of 2 points, self-care and balance. So write down in your notebook, revitalized personal energy equals self-care plus balance. It's not going to happen otherwise. We cannot revitalize this internal power unless we take care of ourselves and we maintain a balanced state. Try to balance. So it's a continuous process. Continuous meaning it's just life. It's nothing like, my God, I have to achieve something huge. It's not like that. It's just living life this way with the mindset of revitalization. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so write that down. Revitalized personal energy equals self-care plus balance. Okay. And then it also means intentional choices. Obviously, about the two things, the two currencies, time and energy. That's our currency. How are we spending it? For what purpose? In what way? How is it being utilized? This is intention. So intentional choices of time and energy. Intentional choices equals spending time and energy. You can write that down. You can write it the way you want. That's what revitalizes personal energy, by intentionally choosing where to place our time and energy, not just running around mindlessly. No, one needs to be awakened to say, I am intentionally, deliberately, carefully, mindfully spending time and energy. Not just spending it in any which way just because I just feel like doing something, or somebody said something, or some situation is there and I'm just running blind. No. Not at all. So what is to be done this week is to be aware, is to make intentional choices hour to hour. So write this down, please. Write it down in bold letters. Intentional choices hour to hour. It literally is hour to hour. What is to be done in the next hour? What is the right step for me to take in the next hour? This is staying in the present and moving and building the past, as we talked about in our retreats. We're building the experience of the past hour to hour. And we're visualizing what we want, quote, for the future, but it's really in the present that future will be present for us. And without intentional choices, then our own feelings, our own emotions, our own mental conditioning, it will take us in all kinds of directions. So to reach self-mastery in the second and third year that we want to reach eventually, it begins with intentional choices. If Sachin doesn't make intentional choices about time and energy, then my own conditioning, my own ignorance, my own deficiencies will make the choices for me. So to make this choice, it means prioritizing activities that replenish rather than deplete one's resources. Sachin here wants to be in a state of replenishment. I need to replenish. So the intentional choices equals replenishment. Write that down, please. Okay, and intentional choices do not equal, put an equal sign and put a slash through it, depleting resources. Once we make intentional choices in the right direction, we will not deplete our resources. No. You'll see how much development of internal potency occurs when we start applying this principle. It's all application, folks. It's all application. And if anyone is getting stuck somewhere, I'm happy to talk to you about it. And we'll have a conversation, we'll have a dialogue about it one-on-one and get through it. Don't get stuck for weeks and weeks with something that you can't get out of. It's not so hard to get out of these old patterns. So I hope this is really clear. This is one of the key, this paragraph really highlights, or this statement here really highlights what is revitalized energy. We need to understand it here intellectually, crystal clear as a bell, and bring it in our heart, bring it in our inner space, and then apply. Internalize, understand, internalize, and apply. There are three. So write that down, please, in bold letters. Understand, internalize, and apply. Many times we understand so many things, we don't internalize it. Even if we internalize it, we don't apply it. That's not going to help us. It's like food. We might have the best quality food. We don't put it in our mouth. If we put it in our mouth, we don't chew it. If we don't chew it, we don't swallow it. We have to swallow it. That's internalization and application. And then the stomach does its job to break it up and it absorbs it. So the application is absorption. So it is to understand, to feel it, to really internalize. And then when you internalize it, apply. Like the food that's broken down in the stomach, it's all turned into its basic substances, and then it's absorbed, it's applied, it's absorbed and goes into our blood. So this is the key, to not deplete one's resources under any situation. Why allow anybody, including your own mind, to deplete your resources? Think about this. Unnecessary worry, unnecessary tension, unnecessary arguments, unnecessary talk, unnecessary remembering past useless things. Throw all that out. Come to that point of great intentionality. Intentional choices. That is the doorway into balancing and eventually into self-mastery. You see how healthy our body becomes. Body will become healthier. Mind will become more stable and clear. Our sleep cycle will improve when we start doing this. Our wake time will improve also. Our waking time, we have more freedom and more potentiality. And where do we apply this? While we are awake. We are not able to apply this while we're sleeping, not yet. That'll be in the future sometime. We'll talk about mastery in the dream state. That'll be year 4 or 5. We're nowhere near there yet. Right? So this is application while we're awake. And that's the only time we can actually consciously apply these ideas. So I'm spending some extra time here to really, for all of us together, this is not a lecture, it's not a presentation, it's not my teaching anybody anything. This is about us doing this together and really sitting with these ideas. Now remember, energy, we want to evolve into a state of revitalization, meaning that we're using energy, and then as we use it, it opens up more energy. We still, of course, eat food because that's where the energy comes from, but it grows and it grows in a dynamic way. It doesn't damage. Revitalization is not stagnation. It is not confabulation. It is not some kind of an internal negative loop that's an energy vampire. Dr. Chaitanya Kripalu, she uses that expression many times. Energy vampires. We've all talked about that. Meaning that they suck energy. Sometimes our own thinking, we start thinking about something and, it's just energy. It's an energy drain. Recognize it. Recognize it right away and change it right away. Prioritize it. Change it right away. Don't waste time and energy behind things that do not need that time and energy. And this is how we are going to be able to prioritize what ought to be done. What needs to be done in the next hour, the hour after that, rather than the mind just being in a diffused, dull state. And this doesn't mean one is like hyper concentrators. No. It just means there's a decision made. What experiences do I want? Maybe I'm going to watch a TV show for 1 hour, but I'm going to watch it properly, thoroughly, happily, no problem. Maybe I'm going to go for a walk for 10 minutes, fine. But I'm not going to get bogged down with any one thing. I'm not going to hyper-stimulate any aspect of my life. That is not going to help me. That is going to imbalance me. Right, so these are the basic ideas. Okay, let's take a look here, what we have next. Just a moment. Okay, so there's a bunch of slides here. Now, I wanted to show you this one here. What I'd like you to do at this point, I'm going to ask you to draw a little picture. Now, you see this awesome, very cool picture. I'm going to read this out here for you. Before you draw this illustration, let's try to understand this first. The illustration vividly encapsulates the empowering notion that we are the architects of our destinies, fueled by revitalized energy. It's a heck of a picture. It's a beautifully created picture. And you can see, what does it teach us? We are the creator, the architect. I am the architect of my destiny. Write that down, please. I am the architect of my destiny. Use the words I and me in this. Nobody else. I am the architect. I'm going to create my destiny. So the picture that we see, it portrays human figures standing confidently, each wielding symbolic tools and elements like compasses, blueprints, and glowing orbs, metaphorically representing planning, energizing, and creating. These are all the qualities. Planning, the planning process. That's why we have the Google Calendar. Energizing, creating. You see the men that are shown in the people shown in this diagram. They are building something. They are drawing. They're making the drawings. The backdrop is an abstract tapestry of shapes and colors, signifying movement, transformation, and the vibrant moments that stitch together the fabric of our lives. How beautiful is that? Our life is a fabric. It has to be stitched together by vibrant moments. How beautiful. That's extremely beautiful. The vibrancy of each moment, the vibrancy meaning a good quality energy of each hour. This visual metaphor, which is an example it's a metaphor. This visual metaphor is a powerful reminder of our capacity for intentional living and determination, urging us to actively shape our futures with creativity and purpose. I would say shape our past, actually, right? So that's what this diagram shows. So what I'd like you to do as a homework assignment, I'd like you to make an architectural drawing for yourself, just like the one this is drawn. You can draw it any which way you want, but it should have in there, this entire notion of planning, energizing, creating. You can draw anything you want. That is a blueprint for you. Something that makes sense to you. There's a lot of ways of doing this. It's a vivid illustration. It's a homework exercise. Do it this week sometime, And if you read this paragraph later on in the PDF, and you can meditate on this and say, well, wow, this is really cool. I am the architect of my life. Yes, you are. Absolutely. And when we realize this, we can then build what we want to build, actually. If we make the drawing first, that's our vision, what we want our hours to be, our days to be, and then the application comes. We actually go out there and make the building, which we've already talked about the exercises to do in all those different areas. But this is another beautiful pictorial way of understanding this idea. And there's another diagram here similar to the previous one. As we harness the power of revitalized energy, we become architects of our destiny, shaping our lives with intention and determination, one vibrant moment at a time. Same idea. Intention and determination equals vibrancy. Write that down, please. My intention and my determination equals vibrant life. That's the way it goes. So we are 100% harnessing our potentiality, our power, our intention, our determination, what we want to experience. And do not fall back from that. Once you are clear, go for it. Just build it. It's a dynamic living. And it's different for every single person. Every single person has to follow their own path in this. The vibrancy, I'm going to say just a word about that very quickly. Vibrancy means what? That one is energetically joyful. There's a joyful set of experiences that keep coming and going. The one joyful experience comes, another one comes, then another one comes. It's a vibrant living. Doesn't mean that one is just always happy. I don't mean it that way. But one is not internally poor. One is rich from inside. That is vibrancy. And this is possible. These are the ideas to apply. One day at a time, one step at a time. Okay, now we are at our stretch break. So let's do this now, and then we'll continue further.
I'm so glad you're joining us for a quick movement break. You should aim it.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Now please open workbook number 2. This is our 12-dimensional set of exercises quick reminder of the 12 dimensions. Hopefully you're tracking this in your workbook, or you're using the Excel spreadsheet, putting these numbers together. This is going to be a good way of understanding where we are in our progression towards a balanced state. Okay, and these are the 12 dimensions, of course. This diagram you've seen already. Hopefully by this time you know how to rate this. If you have any questions about the rating process, please do let me know. Okay, so we're going to actually talk a little bit about dimension number 3 today, which is physical health. What I'd like you to do, I want you to ask yourself a question before you write anything down, and that is my health optimal? Just write that question down in workbook number 2. Is my health the best it can be? Is it optimal? This thing that we talked about already, regular exercise, nutrition, diet, and all that, regular checkups and all. What needs to be done to move ahead in this? To make the health a little bit better? What needs to be done? So there's all kinds of suggestions and all kinds of information available. But are we doing it? So the regularity of exercises, nutrition, diet, and regular checkups, this is all, of course, very important. And we're going to make a little drawing here. Let's see here. Health journey drawing. Okay, so the health journey drawing. All right, just a moment here. Okay, so you can see this drawing here, that this illustrated landscape represents your physical activity journey, and it encompasses terrain symbolizing different activities, swimming, yoga, whatever. Make a little drawing similar to this, the way you want, in your workbook number 2, and just put in there physical health enhancement or physical health development. Make a drawing that means something to you. Maybe it's more about doing some yoga or doing some yoga, or maybe it's walking more, but make a picture, draw a picture that means something to you with regards to what you need to do. So make it into a nice picture. You can see in the picture that you have here, you have some people walking, some people boating, some people rowing, some people swimming, some people playing with balls and stuff like that. Some people are hiking there. There's all kinds of things that can be done, right? So decide, after you make that drawing, see if you can incorporate that this week. Maybe you're already doing it. If you're already doing it and everything is good, maintain it. And if you're not doing it, try to make the change. And this is the physical health dimension. Okay. All right, so very easy. And remember to keep in mind that physical health dimension has a lot to do with regular exercise. Regular activity is necessary. Movement is necessary. That reduces chronic diseases. There's strength training, cardio, flexibility exercises, balance training. There's all kinds of stuff available there. So it's the terrain. You're making a little drawing for yourself, what I need to do further, or to maintain what's already being done. All right, so that's the physical health dimension drawing. And we want to make a nutrition drawing, right? So how do we make a nutrition drawing? So in the same area, you're going to make a nutrition garden. So illustrate different fruits, vegetable, protein, grains, etc. that you regularly consume. Just draw them out and label them, right? And think about which groups you want to add, what you want to add, what you want to remove. So anything you want to eliminate from your diet, just write that down and put an X on it. Put that into a bubble and make an X through it. Make it the way you want. This is a nutrition drawing. It's all application. We want to just draw it out, nice and easy. You can put some different colors there, put proteins, because we know what we eat on a regular basis. And sometimes we're making food choices that are wrong ones for us. And so we can change that. We can definitely change it consciously and deliberately so our health is better. Even maybe our doctors have said to make changes. We know we need to make them, but we don't want to make them because we feel like eating whatever we want to eat. And remember, the body is a machine. It is a biochemical machine. It's not a junkyard, right? Just to throw anything inside there. No. Mindfully, what is the quantity of food? What is the quality of the food? Which type of food? Is it nutritional? Is it enhancing the mechanism of the body? That is the question, right? So these are all important decisions that can be made. Information is always available. There's all kinds of information, but we need to know for ourselves what is the right nutrition. This is the nutrition drawing. You can elaborate on this further during the week if you want. Healthy checkups drawing. How do we do this? Draw a calendar or timeline on the edge of your paper. This represents your health checkups and screenings. Yeah, sometimes we forget to go to the eye doctor, or we delay the dentist appointment. Things we know that we've delayed, let's get on the ball and fix it. So just put in their health checkups drawing, make a timeline, or just make some bullet points if you want, and get this done. Some people have delayed getting blood work done. Some people have delayed going to specialists. Don't delay anything, right? Mark it and stay on track with the follow-ups with the personal, what is that called? The PCPs, primary care physician. They usually like to see people every 6 months or every 3 months or whatever it is. Stay on track with the prescriptions, with the tracking of blood sugar levels if you have diabetes. Whatever it is, whatever that needs to be done, health checkup wise, schedule it and don't delay. And from this point on forward, please do not delay these checkups. Many people really delay eye doctor appointments. They delay their primary care physician appointments. They delay blood work, and that makes things more imbalanced, right? So that should be very clear. Okay, this is fine. All right, now what I'd like you to do is to take out your 3x5 card, and our QTP principle for this week is choiceless awareness, something which we've talked about in other forums, but this is our principle in this program, number 7. Week number 7 is choiceless awareness. So write that down, please, on the 3x5 card. If you don't have that 3x5 card, you can write it in your notebook. If you don't have a notebook with you, just listen in and you can write it later on sometime. Now, what is choiceless awareness? Here is one possible definition of choiceless awareness. Okay, so what you can do here is just write this down. Choiceless awareness is a concept in mindfulness and meditation where one observes thoughts, feelings, and sensations without trying to control, judge, or choose between them. It encourages accepting and being present with the full spectrum of experience, cultivating a state of open, non-judgmental, and undirected attention to one's ongoing experience. So write this sentence down. There's 2 sentences here. And as part of our weekly exercise, just read it one time before having a meal. Right? That's all. Don't worry about trying to understand the whole thing. We're going to go into all that later on in much more detail in the next series, 13-week series. Right now, we're just becoming familiar with the quantum principles. This is very, very powerful. This can transform our life inside out. Once we raise awareness of the spectrum of experience, it's really this is something worth getting into dialogue with in a lot of depth. So choiceless awareness is a concept in mindfulness and meditation. Okay, so just write that in 3x5 card. Take your time. Powerful, powerful thing, actually. It's an idea that can really bring energy conservation, time conservation. It can free the mind from its clutches, from all kinds of internal blocks. Because when we don't try to control, judge, or choose between all the sensations, we're just aware of what they are. And from that, more intelligence, more energy is available. We can proceed from that point forward. How to do this is a little bigger discussion. We'll have some other time. Right now, we just want to understand the concept. Just put the concept in our mind. It'll become clear within this year sometime. More clear in this year. One of our quantum principles, choiceless awareness. Fantastic. It's a beautiful, beautiful idea. It's all observation. Most of the time we're trying to judge our experiences, trying to control our mind, trying to choose this versus that. But when we stop doing all of those things, we're just aware of what's present or what has been present. That is very, very energizing. It can lead to a lot of wisdom and more awareness, more clarity about what ought to be done hour to hour to hour. Okay. Very good. Wonderful. Wonderful. If you guys are ready, I can move on. I guess some people are still writing. I'll give you another moment here. Take your time. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. These are ideas that many people have never heard before. Things like choiceless awareness. Most people in life have not heard this. I would say less than few percentage of people have ever even heard this term. Even many counselors and therapists are not aware of this thing. This is really very potent. But how to do this, we'll go into it in retreats. We will go into it online, and we will in this program also we'll be doing a lot of work on this later on. All right. So if you're ready to move on, we're gonna make one more drawing here. It's just to get this process a little bit started here. What I'd like you to do is to start drawing a long winding stream. This is in workbook number 2 that covers your entire page. This stream represents the flow of your thoughts, feelings, and sensations. So draw a stream in your workbook, and ideally, I would request you all to get some drawing pads, with some colored pens and pencils and stuff like that. Or you can go back and do it later on as a homework assignment. But you can do it in the workbook too for now. It's certainly all right. Would love to see some of our participants, make some nice elaborate drawings and share them during retreats and all that. And then you can do your own presentation on it. And that will be really fantastic as in our monthly retreats. Right? So what I'd like you to do is to draw a long winding stream that covers the whole page. And then write maybe on top as a title that, my thoughts, my feelings, my sensations, they're a stream. They're like a stream. All right. Now you're going to add elements to this. So take a moment, close your eyes, and tune into your current state. What thoughts are you aware of? What feelings are you experiencing? Are there physical sensations? Now, again, this is a homework thing to do. You might be able to do this in just a few minutes right now. So you have to close your eyes and really see what am I aware of? And then you can write those things down inside the stream. That's how you add elements to the stream. And by continuing to add these elements to your stream, you can continue to do that. The key here is to let everything flow naturally into your stream without judging or trying to control what comes up. Whatever is there, whatever's coming up, put it in the stream. Whatever is coming up, put it in the stream. Don't try to judge it. Okay? And if multiple thoughts or feelings are arising simultaneously, draw them all. So take some time to do this. We can do it now a little bit if you want. We have some time here. Let's take the next 3 to 5 minutes to do this. Just see what's coming up in your mind right now and write it down. Try to start this process. I know that you're writing things down and all that, so it might be a little tricky. If something unpleasant comes up or difficult comes up, draw it. If something neutral is there. This is what's happening inside your mental framework. So the stream is a stream of thought and emotion and experience. Okay? It's an exercise to be done. No doubt. It's a very powerful exercise, and it's actually worth doing this together in a group. We're just getting the process started here, and we will definitely do it together as a group also. But you do it by yourself this week. This is the choiceless awareness stream drawing. And if you need help with this, or you have any questions about how to do this, if you're having difficulty with it, just let me know. Reach out to me, and I'll show you. We can go through it. But it's pretty straightforward, I think. And particularly, you should do this if if there's any distressing situation. Just take a step back, go back to this drawing and write it out. What is that? What's happening there? Make some bullet points. Put it inside the stream. Right. So the key is to let everything flow. Let everything flow naturally into your stream. Whose stream is it? Your stream. It's your stream without judging or trying to control what comes up. Sometimes things come up in our mind that we don't like and we try to control it. Let it come and let it go and write it out. Let it naturally go. If it's not naturally going, then we may have to do something about that. It's just awareness. There's a lot involved in this. We're just getting the process started. Choiceless awareness. Something very interesting.
This would be what's in your mind right now?
Sure. Yeah. So you can do it now. You can do it. It's in the now. What's happening in the stream of your consciousness in the now. Yeah. And that's a choiceless awareness drawing exercise. So it's awareness of what's happening now. And you can do this as a homework. I mean, it might be hard to do this because your mind is probably, I don't want to overstimulate you guys.
We're busy listening to you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said do it as a homework exercise, right? But just understand what's involved. If you cannot do it now, that's okay. Try to do it as a homework exercise. Take out a good 15 minutes of your time sometime this week and do this exercise. And you'll see how interesting it is. What all kinds of things come up. It's fascinating. Okay. So the resulting drawing that you'll make is a visual representation of choiceless awareness, a snapshot of the ongoing flow of your inner experience. Remember, there's no right or wrong in this exercise. It's all about observing and accepting whatever arises in the mind moment by moment, right? So it is a type of meditative exercise that is done. So if you ever have any questions about this, please let me know. Also for homework, to read this once a day, the central concept. Hopefully you have it pretty well in your mind at this point. Hopefully you're reading it once a day. If you're not, please do so. It won't take you more, it'll just take you 20 seconds, less than that, to read it. You don't have to even think about it. Just read it one time before going to bed or when you wake up. Keep the card with you, keep it on your phone, and that'll be good enough. Right? Okay. Fantastic. Wonderful. Okay, and now it's time to put some money in the vitamin M envelope that you'll be keeping. Hopefully you're putting $10, $20, $50, some amount, regular amount in that envelope. You'll see we're in week number 7 right now, so you should have some money saved in there. Please don't use any of it yet. We'll be talking about that later on. Okay, and we are going to do our closing song, and then we'll move into our Q&A session after this.